Now the last class we discussed about the required arguments and the default arguments and keyword arguments. Now we will discuss about variable length arguments. Variable length arguments. What is meant by variable length arguments in the sense you may need a process a function for more arguments than you specified while defining a function. For example, if you specify the functions like definition and then definition name, function name, and of I am giving that parameters like 1 comma 2 parameters. I am giving that, and then I am writing some code here. Then what happens if you want to call a particular data, otherwise for a particular definition, just you have to mention definition name def name of 10 comma 20, right? Means that whatever the arguments you are giving, you have to mention that arguments by calling function, right? But here in by using variable length arguments, if you give any number of parameters, the function ready to take and execute it. That is the use of variable length arguments. If you give any number of arguments, for example, if you have only one argument, then it will go to the formal arguments and it will execute. Otherwise, it will if you give n number of arguments, more than that, more than one, or otherwise more than what you specified in the called function, then you can give n number of functions or n number of parameters to the function. How? Let's see. The syntax is definition and then it's a formal arguments. Formal arguments in the sense default arguments like previously we discussed about that, and then formal arguments, and then here it's a variable length argument. You need to specify with asterisk symbol, and then it's a variable arguments. Variable arguments, and it takes like tuple. The variable arguments takes like a tuple, and then here we are giving some data.
It's argument or argument?
Arguments.
Why you write argument?
Arguments only. Okay, sorry, sir. Arguments, right?
So definition name, default argument.
Yes, formal arguments, and then it's variable arguments.
What? Variable argument.
Yes.
Tuple.
Yes, variable arguments. Variable arguments tuple in the sense here you are giving a tuple like data. For example, if you take one argument, here in this example, what happens if you give only one argument like 10, then what happens if you go to the formal argument, you can access the formal arguments here and you can use it. But if you give 10 comma 20 comma 30, then what happens? It will go to the variable arguments like a tuple, and then you have to use this variable or this object to do your process.
Okay.
Here, let's see the example. I'm taking a new data here. I'm taking a new file. Right. Now I'm taking one function like a definition, and then I'm printing some info. Print info is one method, and then I'm writing argument one is a parameter, and then I'm giving variable tuple is variable argument, variable length argument. Now let's see. Print output is print args1. I'm printing just args1. Now print. I want to check it to give like this, and then print. To access this data, why? Because it's a tuple. If you want to traverse a tuple by using for loop only, right? So tuple, I'm giving iterative variable I in where tuple Now print I. I'm returning the value. Return, I'm nothing return that. Now let's see
Return,
how
you
it
never
works.
say anything about return.
Yes, I didn't mention anything. Why? Because I'm printing here only, right? Everything.
No. Even you didn't explain the return.
Even?
Earlier.
Yes,
Earlier
yes.
you didn't mention. This is
No
the
problem. No
return.
problem. No problem. Nitin.
Okay, both.
No
I know
problem.
what is return. We have to return the value.
Yes, we need to return the
Uh,
value. But if you are
which
not return the value
return is
also,
the calling function, right?
yes, yes. If you are not returning the value also, no problem. Why? Because you are just printing the value here. You are already printing the
Yeah.
value in the definition.
No.
No need to return also. But I am returning
So
just return is
no.
the
For the return, it takes a for loop or where to
no.
put. Uh,
It
no.
takes for definition.
Definition have to must mention the return.
Yes, for every definition you
So
need to
this is
mention the return. For every function has a return type, return data. Why? Because in Python, what happens? You are not giving any return type of data. So just you are returning the value as a null. If you are not returning anything, so it takes as a void. Void means you are not returning anything, no return value, right? Like that it will take. Now I'm calling that function like a print info, and then I'm giving only one variable like 10, and then I'm calling again print info, right? I'm giving the values like 60, 70, and 80. Sorry. Let's see. Print info is I'm giving only 10 here. Now let's save the program. Right. I'm running the program now. Right. Let's see the output.
so here we display the two output.
Yes. Here print info. The output is I'm printing the first one. Let's check how to trace it. Now first it will go to print info of 10, right? Print info of 10, and then it will go to these parameter will move to argument 1. Why? Because you are giving only one argument. It will go to the formal arguments, right? It skips this variable tuple. It skips this data. It takes argument 1. Then it prints the value.
So
Clear?
here we need to expect two outputs.
No, we can expect both outputs also if you give a number of parameters increasing.
So why?
See, now you can understand.
Uh,
Print info. Let's say print
how
info.
about the 60? 60
Yes,
why
I'll
it's take the gap?
yes, I'll explain. First is print info of 10, right? It will go to the argument 1, and then it prints the argument 1. The output is 10, right? The next one is print info of 60, 70, and 80. Now the 60 is the formal arguments. It will go to the formal arguments argument 1, and then print 60. Clear? You are giving a 70 and 80. 70, 80 move to variable tuple, right? It takes like this: 70, comma 80. It goes to variable tuple, and then by using iterator operation, you are traversing the variable tuple. Variable tuple contains 70 and 80. It prints the value 70 and 80. Clear?
So in between, how it takes the dotted line for the both.
Yes, I'm printing, just printed, right? First, it will take two types of data. It splits like two types of calling. The first type of calling is 60. 60 it will go to here, and then again it prints like this. Prints both. Right. The second one, it will go to directly variable tuple.
Okay.
Clear? This is
So,
example for variable length arguments.
no. So how it will be takes for two dotted lines separately? You're calling only one time with the print,
Yes.
the dotted line.
Yes. That's why only the printf here, the last statement, printf, print info, and then I'm giving 60, 70, and 30. The first arguments will
80.
move to argument 1, and it prints the argument and prints the dotted lines also. Right.
Okay,
And
so
then it split
it
like,
calls all the print function.
yes, it calls all the print function before you are calling variable tuple argument.
Okay.
Right. Now, this is about the variable length arguments. Variable length in the sense, whatever the length of data you are giving, it will take all the type of data in your method, into your method. Okay. That is variable length arguments. The next one more important function is lambda function. The next one is lambda function. Lambda function in the sense, it's a anonymous function. Right, anonymous function. What is meant by anonymous function in the sense? You are not defining any type of data. Means you are not defining that is a definition also. That is lambda function. LAMBDA, lambda function. Right. Lambda function can take any number of arguments but return just only one value in the form of an expression that cannot contain the comments or multiple expressions. Means that, for example, if I take x, I'm just repeating the x value and then x into x, x into x. Now what happened? It returns the value x after executing these expressions. Clear? Means that it is like a inline methodology in CSS. Inline in the sense, a single line you can write a method. Like normally the definition contains the number of lines and the number of statements will be executed and then processed. If you want to traverse each and every line, you need to traverse, right? But in lambda function, what happens? It takes only one line, and in one line, what happens? You are giving an expression. If the expression is executed, the return value, it returns the value which you giving them in the label. Right. Let's see an example here. Now I'm writing only one lambda function here. Right. Just I'm giving like lambda is a keyword, x colon x into x. I'm just giving the square value, so I'm initializing into square. Now the square value, just I'm printing the square value. See here, sqr of 2. I'm just passing the 2, then it displays 4. Right. See what happened. Lambda is an anonymous function, right? It takes x comma x, I mean x into x, right? Now I'm passing the parameter here, square root of 2, square of 2. Then what happened? That 2 will move to x. 2 will move to x, and then it takes x value is 2, and then 2 into 2, and then it returns the value x again. What is 2 into 2 value? That is 4, and then it returns the value 4. The same time I'm giving 3, let's say 9. Clear? Actually, the lambda forms takes any number of arguments but returns just only one value in the form of expression. Right? It takes any number of values and it returns only one value, that too like an expression. And then an anonymous function cannot.
What is meant by lambda?
Lambda is a keyword. That's it. Lambda is a keyword. It's an anonymous
What
function. Yes, it is an anonymous function keyword. Lambda in the sense it refers a definition. It point out the definition. That's it.
So if you put SQR is equal to non-sigma, then you can write x into x into x, then it will be converted
Right.
as square root of.
Yes. You can rewrite this single line into like this: def sqr squ. I mean sqr equal sqr of a square of a, and then print x into a into a. Now sqr of 3 9. You can rewrite this single line into these many lines. Just you are compressing your complexity of programming. Clear? And then one more thing is lambda function have their own local namespace and cannot access the variables other than those in the parameter list in those global namespaces. Means that if you are giving the only single line statement lambda x colon x into x, you can access only these variables, not outside the function. Means that if you are passing a variable, if you are passing a parameter 2, it move to only local variable which is present under the lambda method. You can give a n number of functions and then expressions also. Right? That is the lambda function. Right? And then now we need to analyze and we need to know that what is the scope of a variable. It's very important. What is the scope of a variable? Means all programming languages, it has two different types of variables. One is a global variable and a local variable. The two types of variables. But here we can see that what is meant by a global variable and what is a local variable. Now let I write a program like x equal to some, I am giving the value 30, and then I am giving definition. Just I am printing the data like print data, and then x equal to 5, and then y equal to 50. I am giving. Now I am just printing the values
X,
like x comma y. Just printing x comma y, right? Just I'm calling this method like a print d. Now I am printing that variable like global variable, global x. Now print, it's a local, I am calling the local variable also, local y. Now you can understand that what is the local variable and the global variable. That's I'm saving this program. Scope of variable. Just I'm running it. No, that's it output. Now here what happened? It goes cursor to print d. and then print D contains the data local variables like x equal to 5 and then y equal to 50. Clear? It,
Hmm.
right? And then it prints x comma y value here, right? X equal to x comma y value 5 comma 50. But it is a local variable. Why? Because you are using these x comma y inside the function, right? Now here the print global x and then x value. I am printing x value outside the method. Why? Because the method is completed here and then outside the method I am printing x, right? Then the x value is 30. The x value is 30. This one is a global variable. Right now I want to print a local variable of print D. Local variable of print D y. I want to print the y value of local variable. Then what happens? It gives an error. Why? Because y is not defined. Y is not defined. Why? Because y is belongs to a print D method. Right? In print D method you can call y, but outside the method you can't. Clear?
Yeah.
If you are defining a variable inside a method, is called local variables. Right? If you give a variable the outside a method, it's called global variable. Means that if you declare any variable outside a method, if you declare any object outside a method, then you can use a particular object or particular variable throughout the program. But if you mention, otherwise if you declare any variable to inside a method, then what happens? You can use it as much you are using that method only. Clear? That is the scope of variable. Scope of variables. Right. The next,
But you declare the value, right? For x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 50. Why you get the output should be error?
why? Because the y is belongs to print D. It is under print D, but I am calling that y outside of method. It is a private variable for print D only. Here I am printing y, but it prints the y value, right? But here what happened? It is a local to y. It's a y local to print D method, and then here it's a private for print D only. So I am not able to access outside the method, right? Mm. No. It is a method function. So it's a methods using in Python.